The rise of blockchain, it seems almost certain that it is going to have a huge impact on world economy. And today, our experts are going to tell us how blockchain applications are going to shape our future. The moderator of this session is Sean. Can I have Sean to the stage again? Sean is the co-founder and CEO of Bitmark. And our panelist, Ed is already on stage with us. And can I invite Bochang from KKFARM again? Gentlemen, please. Let's give the stage to our moderator, Sean.
Okay, so I've got about 5 questions that I've thought of for a while now, and then I want to open it up to the audience. I think it would be great to get some more participation in here. You guys just saw the talk, so I'm not going to do another introduction. But the first thing I want to ask both of you is, why is this blockchain stuff not a fad? Maybe you start, Ed?
Fad meaning 不是一个潮流. Well, okay, my Chinese is terrible. So, Sean, I'm not sure if it's not a fad, right? But I can tell you this. For us, it's solving a real problem. Coming back to the point about patient centricity, right? You know, in fact, I'll give you an example. I kid you not. So, yesterday, my wife took my daughter to see the doctor. She's caught some virus that she's had for the last 2 weeks. Now, they've seen 3 different doctors already, right? But as a result of doctors providing different opinions, she didn't know what to do. But as a result of going to that one hospital where the data was consistent, her and we made a decision this morning on our own to cut her meds in half, listening to one of the doctors. So is this solving a real problem? It absolutely is. And coming back to what I mentioned earlier, we've not seen a technology that can really tackle all the individual subsectors of problems: controllability, access, rights, automation for personal health data. So no, I think it's here to stay, unless I'm proven wrong.
So, 博藏，我就问一下同一个问题：为什么 blockchain 就是会一直存在，而不是一个 fad？ Yeah.
我应该用中文回答你，还是用英文回答你？I don't know, but I think the cryptocurrency hype, it may be a fad. The ICO hype, it may be a fad. But I think a few years later, we'll see cryptocurrency and ICO and the blockchain technology as ordinary as email, as web that we use right now. So blockchain is the only technology for now can achieve the value of the internet. We can secure our money, our property, our assets, and our ownership on blockchain. And I don't see any technology can do that before or now. Yeah. So I believe we do need money of internet. So I believe in cryptocurrency. That's why I also believe blockchain is not a fad, but a hype may be a fad.
So Sean, I want to add to that one thing.
Yeah.
At least with our business, right, we're going across countries. I mentioned earlier, Japan, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Hong Kong, right? I guess with any sorts of data, how do countries trust each other? How do institutions trust each other? Institutions, in our case, pharmaceuticals, doctors, insurance companies, how do they trust each other? They don't, right? But blockchain is a stab at this by where there is not a third party involved, where once the data leverages blockchain technology, it can be altered. Again, coming back to personal health data, we're talking to a few insurance companies now, and they're open to leveraging blockchain because instead of running a large team of IT individuals that will host data, but not necessarily trust data that's given from the other insurance company, blockchain can potentially solve this issue of trust cross borders, cross institutions.
Yeah, I think this is actually quite interesting. So what's common between the music industry and the health industry is you have different parties, different participants that are powerful from different parts of the world. And if the United States wanted to trade data with Taiwan, and the US says, oh, well, we'll just be the database. You Taiwanese put all your data into our system. Taiwan would say no, right? And vice versa. If Taiwan said, okay, all of you Americans, hey, we know how to secure data better than you do, so put it in our system. And so what I hear is kind of commonality here is like an internet-wide thing. Everybody can use it, and you still trust each other. Like, if I'm a patient, I still need to trust my doctor. But the difference is I don't need to trust all of these intermediaries to also keep that. Is that fair to say? Yeah.
Yeah, for the music industry, we have a thesis that when we're doing investment, we want the creators to control their own rights. Yeah. So we invest to creators directly, and we want them have the ability and the tools to control their own rights, to do licensing and get the payments directly from the users. So right now, only blockchain can solve that problem. And the public database that you mentioned. I don't know blockchain, if blockchain is a good form of database to use for storing a lot of information. But I think that distributed ledger or some distributed way to build a open data database, that's necessarily we need it.
Cool. So both of you guys are building businesses on this now, right? And both of you guys started businesses before there was blockchain. You were in the music industry before there was blockchain, of course. And Ed, you did Health to Sync. Well, at least before people knew what the word blockchain was. Like Satoshi's Bitcoin paper never even mentioned blockchain. People don't know this. Tell me, like, in your words, what's the business value of blockchain? Like, what new opportunities does it enable your business? Like, what new business do you have because of this technology?
Going back to patient centricity, our ultimate customer, may not be the paying customer, but our ultimate customer and users are the patients, right? By leveraging blockchain technologies, I can already see how better research from the pharmaceuticals. By the way, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on research. Insurance companies creating more affordable insurance premiums based on the behavior data that each one of you create and provide to the insurance provider, enabling more affordable insurance premiums. It's just ultimately bringing more value and bringing more services to the user, Sean.
Can I put you on the spot? Can I ask, like, how did you pitch your board? Like you said, hey, I want to do blockchain. Like, what did you tell them? What was the value there?
It's the potential of a personal health data exchange that comes at the consent of the user. Okay? The control and consent lies within the user. But when there's a personal health data exchange, all the different parties can get involved and bring better value to the service. And also the hottest topic now besides blockchain is AI, right? But AI in healthcare wouldn't be possible without data, right? Again, coming back to my daughter's case, Maybe instead of seeing 3 doctors, if my wife provides consent on my daughter's data, uploads it, we'll have an AI do a diagnosis. Granted, that comes at our own decision, right? The decision of as parents. But I think more efficient and less malpractice will be available thanks to blockchain and AI in our business.
Bochang, can you tell, like, how did you convince KKBox to do this? Like, what were you thinking? What did they think?
Okay. We want to build a new way to invent new business model of music. Because right now, we've already seen the hurdle of the current structure. Records industry crash and streaming rise. But the market, the revenue, the whole revenue of music industry didn't recover to the highest point of the record era. So I think we should find a new way to let the creators and all the players in the industry to earn more money. Yeah. Otherwise, if creators cannot make a living with their works, how do they have motivation to create any more good works for the world? Blockchain is a good choice of technology to build an infrastructure for us. But for now, we need to try to invent some new business model, application-wise. So the first thing we are gonna do next is we're gonna do the copyright tokenization. So the creators can share the copyright ownership with their fans or investors or supporters to do their jobs. And once the fans get the copyright share, a piece of the copyrights, it's like eating in your own restaurant. So you have more motivation to invite your friend to listen to the song, and you're more willing to promote the song for the artist that you love. So I think it will be a positive cycle for the industry. But that's the only one application that we thought right now. I think it's many possible new ways to build new business model for the music industry. But we're not like some people that say we're gonna disrupt the whole industry, the current structure, the system right now. We think the current system is good. It just cannot break through the bottleneck. So we want to build a new world for the new business model and for the future, for the young creators, that they can drive new revenue, new earning, and new fans from the new ecosystem.
What I like about both of these industries, music and health, is they touch everyone. I think everyone in this room here listens to music, at least has a few songs that are your favorite songs, and you can't escape health. It's something that's going to be there forever. One of the questions that I always thought about, so I did an open source phone before doing Bitmark, which is also open source, and blockchain for the most part, when you're empowering the patient or the musician to hold their rights, to own their rights, you're essentially giving them control over your business. So my question to you, start with you first, Ed, is what do you see as the competitive advantage? If you give, if the patient has all of their data, well, you know, what is health to sync? What do you guys do? What's your competitive advantage now?
That's a tough question. I guess to start off, I want to say Health to Sync was never in the business to store or own health data, right? It was, if you remember my mission statement, it was about delivery of scalable services based on analytics, right? So Sean, by leveraging blockchain, I think it will enable this ecosystem to grow faster. Again, because of the trusted mechanism, the trusted tool, more data will come in. And this, in fact, this was something I did not imagine 2 or 3 years ago, right? Clinics, doctors, national health, these are very, very conservative institutions and professionals. But I can honestly tell you, I'm encouraged. Clinics in Taiwan, hospitals in Taiwan, even our government officials now are thinking about giving this ownership, thinking of ways to give the consent on ownership back to us as individual citizens. So I think the competitive advantage that we would have as a result of adopting this technology is to grow the ecosystem faster. So when there are transactions, we make money, right? We're facilitating the ecosystem in delivering better care, right? The ecosystem being pharmaceuticals, life insurance companies. These are the customers that pay us to serve the users. So it's about building the ecosystem and the database faster. Yeah.
How about you, Bochang?
我有点忘记你的问题了。
So if you put all this data out there in an open protocol, okay, so museum, anybody can use it. What's the competitive advantage to KKBox, to KKFARM in a world where everybody has access to that data? How do you think about that?
If everybody can access the data, then the content usage will be getting more and more, right? So we also invest in content. That if the content can be licensed, can be listened, can be used a lot more, then of course we got an advantage. Yeah, and we don't think that there's only few business model in the new infrastructure in museum. So we got licensing. We could do newer licensing service. We can do new talent resourcing service. We can do new streaming service, video service, and a lot of kind of business that we can do. So for KKFARM or KKBus, we cannot do it all, right? But in an open system that we can connect with each other to build a better world, why not? So, yeah.
I hear that both of these guys are making bets that adopting this technology will grow the pie. And so maybe you get a smaller slice of the pie, but the pie gets pretty damn big. So I think that's a great sort of perspective. My final question would be more of a local question. So the global is we're going to grow the pie. The local, why is this good for Taiwan? I mean, what does this technology represent for Taiwan? Or Asia is okay.
I'll answer from another angle. What better place to start what we're doing than Taiwan and Japan? Japan and Taiwan are one of the most digitized countries when it comes to personal health data. You know, thanks to smartphones, thanks to 全民健保, right? Thanks to our national, again, kudos to Taiwan's national health insurance, one of the most efficient systems in the world. 6% of our GDP, right? But most of us, how much do we pay a year for healthcare? Very little, right? But again, as a result of NHI, there's a lot of digital data, right? There's digital data in the Health to Sync app. There's data in your smartphone and in other apps. There's data, I'll bet there's data in the local general practitioner, GP 诊所 that you go see all the time. There's data on our 全民健保, right? But data is stored in all these different silos. They're not all connected to each other to serve us as citizens, as patients, as users, right? What better place than Taiwan and Japan? Now, what benefits can it bring to the countries? I am of the belief that there will be digital therapy prescribed. All right? One of these days, hopefully not far, you will go to the doctor aside from prescribing you medication, oral or injectables, you will be prescribed an app to engage you, to coach you, to remind you, to give you content on how to manage your chronic diseases. If we have a database in Taiwan or in Japan, there will be a new industry created to qualify these digital therapy, or the pharmaceuticals calls it software as a medical device. Trust me, that day will come. It's a matter of Google winning, IBM winning, Apple winning, Health to Sync, right? Do we get a play in this? But again, having that large ecosystem and database will create a new industry of digital therapeutics for Taiwan and for Japan.
What opportunity do you see?
我用中文讲好了这一段，因为我觉得台湾的朋友应该最关心台湾应该会有什么机会这样。我觉得台湾我们是一个小岛国家，我们没有什么天然资源。那我们的性格也跟其他地方不太一样。其实我觉得我们是一个蛮 chill、蛮 peaceful 的一个国家，所以我们也不像对岸很 aggressive。但是我们做很多事情呢，也许是因为很多个文化、很多个不同世代，那很多个甚至我们说不同的阶段的统治吧，所以我们在文化上的延续也并不是那么的一贯，那也造成说我们在很多传承上，我们对于比较有深度的探索或研究，也没有办法做得那么的透彻。对，那这会造成两个问题啦，一个就是我们做事永远都不够快，第二个就是呢，我们做事可能也不够别人深，但我们必须改变这些事情了。可能不用又快又深，我觉得这个太难了。但至少我觉得要有一项做到，比如说你什么事情都做得很快，不然就是你真的有很深厚的底子，去研究到最 fundamental 的东西，然后去做出一些改变。那我们刚刚在后台跟Sean聊的时候，我们有说台湾在硬体上，其实在过去非常厉害。那我小时候也是因为这样，所以我去选择念电机系，因为我的长辈们都说念电机系以后会很有前途，以后就去做那个 semiconductor， 去做这些硬体的东西。但其实到了我这个 generation， 或者是我这个年轻一些的朋友之后，大家就会发现硬体工业也会到一个瓶颈。那现在的创新都是在软体上，最大的突破对这个世界带来改变也是在软体上。其实我一直觉得这种音乐或者是创意内容，其实也是一种软体。那这方面呢，我一直觉得台湾是最有机会跟最有 potential 的，就是因为我们是一个小岛国家，我们没有太多的天然资源，所以我们才更应该用我们的创意、我们的创新，用我们软体上的思维，用我们的一些才华跟技术力去赢得别人的信赖，或者是超越别的国家。那 blockchain 它有一个特质，我觉得是很适合我们的，就是blockchain has a nature of decentralized, right？ 那这个是一个很难得的机会，就是可能几十年才有一次的机会。那我们可以在我们的小岛上面做全世界的生意，做全世界的创新。我们不需要透过很多的阻隔，我们不需要可能面对国际上的压力，我们可能不需要拥有太多的 resource， 我们可以利用这个技术跨出台湾，那做全世界的这个创新的商业模式。我认为我们应该抓住这次机会。
Yeah, I hope you guys can understand that. It's really neat. I want to open up to a few questions. I think we have a few minutes left of our time here and then 5 minutes of question time, but maybe we can start a bit early on the questions. Is there anything you guys want to ask these guys? Yeah.
Hello, my name is Adrian, and so currently in the blockchain, we're in the platform war, as you will call it. You know, there's consensus, there's NEM, there's Ethereum, there's Linux project, Hyperledger. So what would be your advice for startups or somebody who would like to implement the blockchain into their project? Which are kind of the checkboxes to consider as to pick which platform? Because you know, all platforms claim to be the best ones and the most scalable and so on and so forth. What would be your advice to as platform selection goes in the blockchain?
Like, how do you evaluate technologies?
I think it's depending on your requirement, right? So for us, we need a blockchain to secure the digital assets of content. So that's why we choose Bitmark. But we also need a platform that can compute, that can calculate to split the revenue and do the transaction with integrity. So that's why we choose Ethereum. But of course, we do have a lot of smart contract platform right now. So there is some problem of Ethereum. There is transaction fee too high. And of all the smart contract blockchain that we do have the most difficult issue, that the user experience is difficult, is terrible. So how do I educate my users? You need to install the plugin called MetaMask, and you have to buy some Ether to steal in the MetaMask. That's terrible. But I think things will change, and the new platform will replace the recent one. Like we have some new platform that claim they have zero transaction fee, and they can deal with the scalability problem. They can do the million transaction in 1 second. Maybe it will happen. Then maybe you can choose that. I don't know. Yeah, it's based on your requirement.
My answer is very simple. First of all, I'm not the tech guy on our team. For us, it was about the industry and picking the partner that actually has a robust solution. And when I say robust, in our case, there aren't many platforms or solutions that have gone through institutional review boards with patients, with medical institutions, right? But we are evaluating various platforms. But for us, our initial launch, getting that time to market, it was picking a partner that has gone through a School of Public Health institutional review board. It's worked with a pharmaceutical. Oftentimes, technology is not the issue. It's these intricacies of the ecosystem, at least in our industry, that I have to pay attention to.
We get the guy in the back. Sorry, it's hard to see here.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
Sorry, my thing is more of getting an opinion from you about the viability of using blockchain to protect voting rights in countries that have less than transparent, voting, sort of African and Middle Eastern countries. How do you see blockchain as a potential solution to government corruption and things like that in those countries? Is it a viable solution, one, and does it have potential for, making money in wider way of looking at things?
Okay. I can take this one. It's actually a personal kind of favorite of mine. I think voting will be the last application that goes on the blockchain. The reason is that the immediate short-term benefits of blockchain are transactions where you need to transfer something of value. And if you think of a vote, like the last thing you want to do is to have somebody transfer their vote. You can buy and sell votes. That's a really bad thing. So I think there's other technologies that are far better for secure voting than blockchain. I think blockchain at some point in the future will also be used to keep tally of votes, but I think it's really early, and I think it would be a big mistake to move votes onto blockchain too early.
Hello. Oh, hi. How are you doing? Sorry. So I'm just have a question about. So blockchain is a decentralized technology, right? So I think with any decentralized technology, there is like a risk of being abused by the users. So I'm just wondering, like, based on your experience, have you observed like any abusement in your respected industries, and like, do you have any like protections against those abusement? Thank you.
I think the abusement for us will not be coming from a result of the technology, but it will come as a result of the services that we can bring thanks to the technology. Abusement of uploading false data, for example, right? This will be an issue that we need to safeguard. So there are the way we would solve that is there are mechanisms to sort of compare, benchmark, and track to see if the biomarkers that this specific user has sent up this week make sense, right? So yeah, I think the abusement will really come from the amount of data that they want to upload, thanks to what they can receive, which blockchain enables as part of services.
Yeah, I think the decentralized world is easy to have disputes, abuse, right? So in a museum, in protocol that we proposed, we let everyone to do the data validation. So everyone can be the validator, but you need to choose. You need to choose which one you trust. That's on you. So in a decentralized world, everybody has to be responsible for their own choice. Yeah. We cannot avoid that.
Any more questions? I think we have time for one more. Yeah, there's somebody in the back.
Hi, I was wondering what happens when there's a conflict between regulatory privacy requirements and your personal healthcare database. Say, because we all know blockchain is designed to be tamper-proof, then what happens when the patient wishes to exercise his right to be forgotten from your database?
I can't answer this on behalf of the medical institutions, but the way we will set up our service, Health Sync as a chronic disease management service, when they choose to delete and remove, it's done. Okay. Now, on your first half of the question, in terms of setting up consent, I can't speak for the government, but what I can say is that our National Development Council, 国发会, right, and the various divisions within the government are looking at how to solve this issue, how to be able to make consent easier, and at the same time protect institutions as well as service providers like us, like hospitals, like insurance companies, so that all the services can be better facilitated. But one thing that I will finally say is, as a service provider, whether it's offline or online, we do have to set up protocols and protection mechanisms should there be a lawsuit. Lawsuits will come, okay? In fact, 2 years ago, one of Taiwan's human rights organizations was challenging our national health. How can you use our data like that in a certain way? You know, I'm happy. I think the society was happy that the allegations were dropped, but for sure these allegations and lawsuits will come. But it's more about how you set up these protocols to protect our partners and protect service providers when we leverage personal health data to bring better service personally.
I think that's why we need cryptography, right? So every personal data should be encrypted, then put on blockchain. Then only the one with the ownership can decrypt it. That's also one of the favorite features of Bitmark.
So, like, I mean, one direct answer to your question is that you could provably delete your keys that give access to that record, and then you've forgotten it. So there's an idea of burning something. So there's a record in the blockchain. You can burn the access to that and provably show that it's forgotten. So that would be one way. There's many ways, but it's going to be a long time to work it out. It's not going to be easy. Okay. Thank both of you. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Awesome talk. Let's take a photo together to wrap up this session.